Our world's history has a lot of key moments. These key moments are the ones that define our lives and the way we live.
A big milestone in our history and one of the greatest key moments ever was the French Revolution. Now, we make small and interesting videos like this one. So if you like our work, don't forget to share. This is
The French Revolution was a complete turning point in our history and how we look at the world now.
But that wasn't actually the first democracy. The United States of America was the first country to get a democratic government after it got independence from the British.
There was a problem, however, with the spreading of the word of democracy. The French Revolution was a complete turning point and led to a ripple effect all across Europe.
Now, we won't go into the details of the revolution and how it unfolded. Instead, we will just be focusing on the effect of the revolution.
The French Revolution had a domino effect on Europe. Many people realized that the ideas of democracy were actually better than of monarchies that were present in the medieval Europe.
Eventually, the people of France traveled around Europe, and that inevitably led to the spread of democracy.
When the revolution started, the revolutionaries cited three main causes to fight: economic, political, and social causes.
The French economy was bust after helping the American colonies gain independence from the British.
The people were beginning to think that the king was useless. They openly started calling for the removal of the king.
The people were also starving. The price of bread was so high that a lot of people couldn't actually afford it.
The thing was, the nobles and the churchmen were actually exploiting the poorer people. This was also a reason why the poorer people of the society were ready for a revolution.
The ideas of democracy were actually very forward for the time. The people still lived in a medieval society, and many still believed that the king was a godlike figure.
The ideas of liberty, equality, and fraternity were actually thrown around up until then, but it got serious real quick.
The effect of the French Revolution was drastic. Many people who have asked for change later have always looked at the French Revolution as a source for inspiration.
Even Raja Ram Mohan Roy was inspired by the French Revolution. The French Revolution was what that gave him a lot of ideas when it came to democracy.
Every action comes with an effect, sometimes bad, sometimes good. In this case, the effect was good, as the French Revolution was the start of the end of many terrorizing monarchs of Europe.
The people of France suffered, but they did what they thought was right. And that has had a massive effect on how we look at our world today.
It's hard to imagine a world without democracy. The idea of democracy has spread far past the four corners of France and all around the world.
What we should understand is that we should look at the good and the bad in every situation and see what is more. Based on that, we can decide if that thing is good or bad.
The French Revolution has done so much good to us, as now we're able to choose who our representatives are and who are the faces of our country. It completely overrides all the bad that it did.
We should be thankful that so many people sacrificed their lives in the hopes of a greater and happier future.
Hopefully, the French Revolution will continue to inspire millions in the future, and that is why I can confidently say that the happenings of the French Revolution is a reason why this world is awesome. And we'll see you next time.